Hey, what's up guys? This is Matthew Boyle, the creator of Chinese Champions, and today I want to show you some warm-ups you can do with your cards before you get into an actual battle. The battles can be challenging and they require that you remember some of the vocabulary words to be able to draw your cards so that you can use them. So if you're unfamiliar with the vocabulary or if you're a beginner to Chinese, that might be really hard and it might be difficult for you to stay in the game or win the game. But we can do some warm-ups that help us to get to know these cards so we can remember them. There are 3 warm-ups that I want to show you today, and they all have names. The first one is called What's Missing, the second one is called Magic Eyes, and the third one is called Classify Them. Alright, let's get started. What you're going to do first is take out between 5 and 10 cards that you are most interested in remembering first, and put some of them on the table like this. The first warm-up is called What's Missing, and what you need to do is pronounce every card in English and Chinese, and then remove one of them without looking, and then try to think of which card is gone and say its name. So if you're doing this with a friend, obviously the friend can remove it for you when you're not looking. If you're doing it by yourself, you're going to need to shuffle them without looking at them and remove one, and then put them back onto the table face up and try to guess which one is gone. Other things you can do with this warm-up is you can have someone totally remove the card like this. You can have them flip the card and leave it in place. Or you can have them remove a card without you looking, and then have them also shuffle these before you look at them again. Shuffle their positions, and that should make it even harder. Alright, the second warm-up is called Magic Eyes, and it's similar to What's Missing, but it's a little bit harder. So you're going to take the cards, again, between 5 and 10. I think 5 or 6 is good for a beginner. 10 would be pretty hard, especially if you're not used to these words or you're not used to Chinese. So I've got 5 here. You put them in a row, and you're going to pronounce every card in English and Chinese from left to right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip over the first one so you can't see it. And then do it again. Starting with this card that you flipped over, you need to say the name of it. And then go through and say the names of the next ones. And then you flip over the second card. And then, again, starting with the first card, you say the name of this one, then the name of this one, in English and Chinese, and you go on down the line. And you do this until they've all been flipped over, and then you try to say all of the names of each card in English and Chinese without seeing them. And then what you can do to just make sure you've got them all right and to finish is to say the name of this one and flip it over and make sure you're correct, and then say the name of this one and flip it over and make sure you're correct. And this warm-up is called Magic Eyes. Okay, let's go to the next one. The last warm-up is a little bit more cerebral, and it asks you to divide the cards that you have out into some groups to classify them in a way that makes sense to you or shows some different ways that we could group these cards. So you could do that by looking at the Chinese characters. You could do that by looking at certain parts of the Chinese characters like the radicals. You could do it by looking at the pinyin romanization system or the tones of that system. But you need to find a way to divide the cards into groups that would make sense. So just for a simple example, we could divide these into groups based on the number of characters in their names. So these 4 have 2 characters in their Chinese name. This one has 3, and this one has 5. So to note the differences in the cards and to show how we could put them into different types of groups and discuss the reasons why we grouped them a certain way, and also to repeat some of their names, can help us to get in touch with the cards and remember them better. If you're interested to learn more about this game, you can send me your questions or comments. You can also hit the link in the description to this video or in the video itself. I'll put a card there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next time.